Good morning and welcome to the online public information meeting for applicant Julie Scaling. And typically, the councillor of the area hosts the meetings as part of the planning review process to inform the public when the municipality has received an application that may be of community interest. And planning staff explain all of the policies under which council may consider the application and the criteria used to evaluate this proposal. So no evaluation or decisions have been made at this point. And the information meeting also allows all of our neighbors and the community members to ask questions and provide any comments via phone or email. So my name is Councillor June Granger. I'm the councillor for District 1. And in attendance today is our planning staff, Will Robinson Mushkat, he's the planner for the municipality. And of course, Julie Scaling, she is the applicant for file number 2125. Will, if you would like to take it away from here.
Certainly, Councillor Granger. Thank you very much. And this is a public information meeting recording for a land use bylaw map amendment to rezone a property in Scotts Bay. My name is Will Robinson Mushkat, and I am a planner. Just to reiterate what Councillor Granger has mentioned, the purpose of a public information meeting is as follows. It's to inform the public of the application at hand. It is to explain the planning policies that enable council to consider this application, and it is to receive preliminary feedback, questions and comments from members of the public and residents of the community. Again, please note that no opinions have been formed on this application at this time. The background and proposal is as follows. The municipality has received a planning application from Julie Scaling for a property that is currently zoned rural mixed use. It is to rezone the property to the commercial recreation P1 zone. And this new zone would allow the development of a campground, which is a permitted use in the commercial recreation P1 zone. This is a map of the municipality of the County of Kings, and you'll see a red circle that's appearing on the top right-hand corner, and that is the approximate location of the subject property within the community of Scotts Bay. This is an aerial photograph of the subject property within the community of Scotts Bay. The subject property is outlined in red on the screen there. And this is a closer view of the subject property itself. So the subject property is approximately 96 acres in total area, and it features approximately 350 feet of frontage along Highway 358. And you'll note the shape of the subject property is somewhat kind of thin and slender and extends quite far back from Highway 358, several thousand feet. This is a future land use map of the subject property and the surrounding area. And you note that the subject property and the all the properties within the surrounding area are designated agricultural. And within that particular designation, the zone in this instance is the A2 or rural mixed use zone. And the subject property, and again, all the surrounding properties within the area are zoned A2 or rural mixed use, which is a zone that permits a variety of uses, agricultural, resource, and rural residential uses. This is a photograph of the subject property. You'll note on the kind of the right-hand side of this photograph, Highway 358, and this is the main access point to the subject property. This is a photograph taken basically in the same location, but looking in the eastward direction away from Highway 358. Up Peregrine Lane is on the kind of the left-hand side of this photo extending upwards. You'll note the power poles there, and this is kind of a cleared area on the subject property. This is an example of some of the vegetation and kind of cleared areas that are on the subject property. It's kind of a mixture of cleared fields and then forested vegetation. Here's another photo of the subject property. You'll see some of the cleared fields, and in the background of this photo, you'll see houses, dwellings close to Highway 358 and Scotts Bay itself in the very far background of this photo. This is another example kind of the mixture of vegetation that you see on the subject property. Again, kind of a mixture of kind of cleared field and forested vegetative cover. And this is another example again with some kind of forested vegetation further in the background and cleared fields out front. With regard to the specific policies that enable council to consider this application, Municipal Planning Strategy Policy 2.7.16 states, consider proposals to rezone lands within any designation to the Commercial Recreation P1 zone. In evaluating such proposals, council shall be satisfied that the property to be rezoned, A, does not include lands zoned agricultural, A1, lakeshore residential, S1, lakeshore limited development, S2, environmental constraints, O1 zone, or lands within the residential designation. So you'll recall that this particular property falls within the agricultural designation and is zoned rural mixed use, or the A2 zone. B, that the property meets the minimum lot area and minimum lot frontage requirements for the Commercial Recreation P1 zone. And those minimum lot area requirements are a minimum lot area of 200,000 square feet and a minimum lot frontage of 200 feet. And in this case, this property exceeds both those minimum requirements. And C, meets the general amendment criteria, which is as follows. And again, these are the amendment, or these criteria are what all planning applications that come before the municipality are evaluated against as part of staff's review. And they're found in Municipal Planning Strategy Policy 5.3.7. So first, that the proposal is in keeping with the intent of the MPS, meaning that the proposal meets the goals and objectives outlined in the Municipal Planning Strategy. That there's no undue negative financial impact on the municipality as a result of the proposed amendment. That the surrounding land uses are compatible to the proposed rezoning and potential uses. That when applicable, there is adequate supply of schools, recreation, and community facilities, and that they're in a reasonable proximity to the subject property. That there's no undue creation of traffic hazards or congestions. That there is adequate fire protection. That there, when applicable, is adequate sewer and water services. That there'd be no undue potential for flooding or drainage problems as a result of the rezoning and the proposed use. That there'd be no negative impacts on well fields or other groundwater supplies when applicable as a result of the proposed rezoning and reuse. That there'd be no undue chance for pollution such as soil erosion or siltation of watercourses as a result of the rezoning and the proposed uses. That there'd be no negative impact on lake water quality or wetlands as a result of the rezoning and the proposed use, and no negative impact on native farming operations as a result of the rezoning and proposed use. And finally, that the site is suitable in terms of its physical characteristics for any uses permitted through the rezoning. So the grades, soils, geological conditions, locations of watercourses, marshes, bogs, swamps, and proximity to utility right-of-ways. So again, when staff are reviewing this or any planning application, we look at these criteria and use them to evaluate the suitability of a subject property for rezoning and the potential uses that could occur as a result of the rezoning. With regard to the land use map amendment application process, so we're at the very early stages of the amendment process. A complete application has been received, and we're at step 2, essentially, hosting the virtual public information meeting. Following the public information meeting, staff will complete a review of the application and will generate a staff report, and this report will go to the Planning Advisory Committee for its review and recommendation to Council on approving or denying the proposed rezoning. Following Planning Advisory Committee, the application will go for first reading, at which point a public hearing will be scheduled for the rezoning application. The public hearing is yet another opportunity for the public to comment on essentially the final proposal for the rezoning, and properties within 500 feet will be notified of the public hearing directly via letter mail. And that public hearing is also advertised twice in the local newspaper, as well as on the municipality's various social media channels and outlets. And following the public hearing, council will hold what's known as second reading, and this is where council makes a decision to approve or deny the proposed land use bylaw, the proposed land use bylaw map amendment to rezone the property. And following second reading, there is a 14-day appeal period of council's decision as mandated by the Municipal Government Act. With that, I'll put my contact information up here. So if members of the public have any questions or comments, they can feel free to reach out to me, Will Robinson Mushcat. My phone number is 902-690-6173. My email, wrobinson-mushcat@countyofkings.ca. And also you can go to our website, countyofkings.ca/planning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Will. And if any of the public do have questions or comments, please keep in mind when you're submitting your questions, you have to provide your name and your civic address, just so that we have that on file. Julie, do you have anything that you would like to add to this?
I'll just do a brief summary of why I'm doing the campground. So I lived on the property. It was my home. I grew up there, and it was in the Tupper family for a long time. So Scotts Bay has been a very important place in my life, and I'd like to help to not only preserve it, but help it to grow. And there's a lot of tourism going on right now with Cape Split and having a campground. We enjoyed camping. My dad would allow some people to camp there privately. And so we were kind of used to having that kind of format there. The second part of it is my daughter has Down syndrome, and my uncle also had Down syndrome. So I'd like to make the campground a place where people who have various abilities can actually learn skills. They'll be paired up with people who are professionals. And then it's basically trying to look at nonprofit organizations, possibly like the Flower Card, or from school programs and in different resource centers, and give opportunities to people who wouldn't otherwise have opportunities to make a campsite and maintain the campsite. So that's an important piece for me to bring to the table as well.
Excellent. Sounds wonderful. So if we have no public present, so again, with the public, if you would like to get a hold of the planner, he is available. And again, I'll give you his contact information. That's Will Robinson Mushcat at 902-680-6173, or by email wrobinson-mushcat, sorry, Will, at countyofkings.ca, or you can visit the County of Kings website. So I think in conclusion, if nobody has anything else to add, Will, do you have anything else to add?
The only thing is, I'll reiterate that if members of the public have any questions or comments, really at any time throughout the planning application process, please do not hesitate to reach out to myself or the municipality at large, and we'll be happy to help answer any questions or take any comments.
Great, thank you. And Julie, do you have anything else to add?
No, just thank you so much for your support, and hope this goes well. Thank you.
I hope it does for you too as well. So in conclusion, I think we're ready to adjourn. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Julie. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you.